Going live in about 5.
From the new day. Give me that whole yeah. Give it to me. I need it.
Hello, and a very warm welcome to the Gimme a Whole Year Wrestling Podcast. My name is Ant, and today I'm joined by my brother to another mother. It is...
Dom in the wrestling spare room. Hello, everyone.
That was a right little laugh. You had a right little chuckle there, my love.
I know, I'm excited now when I do it.
Well, I'm excited, Dom, because today we have our very special guest, a member of the community that you've all seen on Discord, you've all seen in the chat quite regularly. It's my dude, Snazzy Futuristic. How are you doing, brother?
I'm good. I'm excited to be here.
Man, it is awesome. I can't wait to hear all of your predictions for this show. Are you looking forward to the show, Snazzy?
Yes, it's one of my favorite pay-per-views of the season, but they do sometimes mess it up, so I'm hoping this time it's better than last.
Wow, Dom, someone who's excited about this pay-per-view. We found the right person.
I'm more excited. I tell you what, I'm more excited to have Snazzy on the stream than I am about FastLane. I'm actually more excited about doing this with you guys than I am about watching the pay-per-view on Sunday, if that tells you anything. But we'll see. We can hope. We can hope for some beautiful, wonderful, exciting action now that Shayna and Braun is off the card and there'll be no Nickelodeon-style gunge. But anyway, Anthony...
Dude, the blow-offs on Nickelodeon, that's what's happening. Right, my dude, Futuristic, he asked if he could be on a predictions video, and you can be on a predictions video in the future. All you need to do is hit us up in chat, join us in the Discord, the link is in the description, hit us up on there, and we will put you in the future video. We've got a list, and we're getting through that list, and Snazzy's been on the list since Royal Rumble. So cool, so if you want to join us for that, please hit us up on there. And also, my dude Snazzy, Futuristic, he has a YouTube channel, a wonderful YouTube channel that you should all go and subscribe to. The link again is in the description. Snazzy, what do you do on that YouTube channel, brother?
I do reaction videos, gaming videos, Q&As, and it streams down the future.
There we go. Rock and roll. So if you want to hang out with Snazzy a little bit more, please go and support him. Give him some Whole Year love, as we all do. We are a community, and we all help each other. So, Dom, without further ado, let's get into the fast lane, shall we?
The thrilling, let's get in the fast lane. Let's zoom towards Sunday, Anthony and Futuristic. First match of the card. This exciting, thrilling, wonderful card that we have is Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler versus Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair for the Women's Tag Team Championships. Now, what they do in WWE when they've got WrestleMania, when they've got a big feud, and they need to kill some time for that to get a little bit of drama, is they tend to put the champion and the challenger together in a tag team, because why not? That makes loads of sense. Right. Okay, whatever. I've seen it done lots of times. I've seen it done loads. Shawn Michaels and Stone Cold Steve Austin comes to mind the most. But I think legitimately that Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair will walk away with the championships. And of course, as per usual, they'll fall out and they'll have a fight, and then they'll lose the tag team championships just in time for WrestleMania. Wouldn't you believe it? That's what they do. I think that's what they'll do here. I don't think Nia Jax and Baszler will retain. I think Sasha and Belair will actually have a tag team title run prior to their feud and their big match at WrestleMania. Anthony, your thoughts?
Are you kidding? 3 weeks to WrestleMania, and they're going to cram in all that story when they can't even tell a story on a normal week.
Mate, they've just had gunge between Braun and Shayna, like we said. If they can do that, they can do this.
Well, they could do it, but let's be honest, none of us loved it. No, it's not happening, Dom. Sorry, mate. It is going to be Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler. However, the important part of this match is to break up Bianca and Sasha. The important part is when they fight after the end. That's the highlight of this match. Moving them on to WrestleMania, and then you can tell a story of Shayna and Nia getting into God knows what at WrestleMania. I have no idea. I'll be perfectly honest. It could be Shayna and Nia versus The Fiend and Alexa, because The Fiend's had a gimmick change and now he's Liv Morgan. Who knows? Snazzy, give us your predictions.
Yeah, Nia and Shayna are retaining the titles, because it won't make any sense that they won the titles. I know they did in the past, but it wouldn't make sense now because they've been kind of in and off, and they just been very, very, very bad, in my opinion. They've been really bad.
Yeah.
It's been a bit of a weird one, my dude.
Yeah, not a lot of chemistry. Not a lot of chemistry going forward, I don't think.
Even the laugh, oh my goodness, is gonna get me.
My hole.
Oh,
Dom, there's nothing else to say about this garbage. Let's move on.
no. Alexa Bliss versus Randall Keith Orton, guys. I think they're going to use this to bring back the Fiend. That's certainly my hope. The way they do it, you could have. It'll be a cinematic match, I think. There's some talk of a new Fiend emerging from the black goo that Randy Orton coughs up at some point during this match. But I think Alexa Bliss takes it via a technicality. I don't think Randy Orton finishes this match because he's either attacked or he turns into, or something happens with the Fiend. So Alexa Bliss is going to win this on a technicality, I think, or Randy Orton by a disqualification. But I'm going to give it, given that I think it's just going to be a cinematic match, to Alexa Bliss. Anthony?
I feel like it'll be a no contest, but if I was to pick anyone, I'd go Alexa Bliss. I think it's... You're right. I think it'll be a cinematic match. WWE are way too afraid of putting a female and a male in the ring together, even with the Fiend coming back, which I do believe is going to happen as well. And actually, you can sort of use that as the next 3 weeks to build up to Randy and Fiend at Mania for the second Firefly Funhouse match, which is all going to be about Randy Orton's career and put Randy Orton over more than the Fiend. Snazzy...
I got the Alexa Bliss winning because she'll play a good mind game with Randy Orton inside of his head, and I think what's gonna happen is maybe they might have a holographic of his like dad, like they did in the past with Undertaker and them, and it might have like flashbacks. He might be like John Cena, like the Fiend, the Father Funhouse match. And it might go back and forth, like you said, same that match. That'd be a good idea. But then I heard about like a special guest referee, so I'm guessing the Fiend might be it, but a really weird ending for the referee count, whatever.
Okay. Yeah, so the Fiend kind of comes in to count the final three or something. Yeah.
Well, I've heard this rumour of the Fiend being the special guest referee. If he's special guest referee, is the Fiend coming out, or is Firefly Funhouse Bray coming out?
I'll bet Firefly Funhouse.
I'd assume Firefly Funhouse. If you're going to do it at this point, you save the Fiend till Mania, don't you? Interesting. Hands up if this is the match you're most excited for about Fastlane. I mean, sure. I'm sort of intrigued to see what they do, I think, more than anything, and nothing else on the card sort of appeals to me, really. I think there's some potential decent matches, but I think in terms of excitement for what's going to happen next, I think we all want to see what is going to happen in this match, and I think that's the only sort of excitement I've got for Sunday.
Yeah, they also might tease the new look of the Fiend too, which might happen.
Absolutely, man, absolutely. I mean, can you imagine if Firefly Funhouse Bray comes out, special guest referee, goofing around on this on whatever, and then you get a flash of the new mask or whatever it is? That would be a clever way of doing it. So I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued.
Same. I really hope there is a change, because WWE, they could just bring him back the same. It could happen.
But Dom, and sorry to talk about this, but you love talking about the Fiend, so it's fine. Do you want the Fiend to change? Are you bored of his gimmick already?
I'm not bored of his gimmick. I think a stylistic change might be cool. Different mask, or a slightly changed mask, maybe.
So you're bored of his style?
No,
that's what I don't get.
Slight stylistic change.
Did you ever want that with Kane?
Yeah, definitely.
When it happened, was he happy with it?
No.
What was the best Kane look?
The first Kane look.
Do you get what I mean? I don't see why they're pushing this so quickly. Anyway, what do you think, Snazzy?
I liked it from the beginning, but when they changed the mask, when they made it less scary, I just disliked it. And I already knew he was ruined because they changed the mask completely and made it less scary. It was disappointing to me.
Interesting. Sorry, Dom. I don't know if you got else to add. You love talking about the Fiend, so it's up to you.
No, there's plenty more. Like I say, we'll get a chance to talk about it on Sunday, won't we?
I certainly will.
I do like him. It's just I wish they would have done him better with like other matches, like Seth Rollins and the Goldberg match. All that was bad.
Oh, absolutely. I agree with that for sure. So, talking about excitement, I'm actually really excited for Big E versus Apollo Crews for the Intercontinental Championship. Apollo Crews getting a very cool gimmick change. last few weeks. It's been the most interesting thing that I've caught when I've seen clips of SmackDown. I've been really enjoying that. And obviously Big E's on quite the run as Intercontinental Champion. And these two can have some really good matches as I've seen. So I'm expecting more of the same. Good quality, good chemistry between Big E and Apollo Crews. I think it's far too early for Apollo Crews to win. I do think an Intercontinental Championship run is in Apollo Crews' future, but just not right now. I think Big E is on fire. I think he's being pushed, and I think it's rightly so. So Big E is going to take this one against Apollo Crews for the Intercontinental Championship. Anthony?
Yeah, I've got Big E as well. I think that Big E's doing wonderful work at the minute, and this thing with Apollo Crews are both working really well together. We're getting a serious side of Big E that's really nice. My concern is with WWE that they end up going back to that comedy gimmick too quickly and stuff like that, and they sort of water it down a little bit too much. But I actually got a call from Apollo Crews, his grandfather, the other day asking me for my credit card information. Love his new gimmick. I think it's hilarious. I think it's great. I think he's doing a really good job with it, and excited to see what they do. I think this will probably be match of the night.
I would imagine so. Yeah, Futuristic, your thoughts?
I think Apollo is going to win the match. Because they done tease with Corbin and Sami Zayn for that title, so they might end up having him winning and until keeping in touch with WrestleMania, so it'll be a fatal 4-way match.
Okay. Okay. I can see that.
Big E should definitely win it back, but then I just say he might get a push for the Universal Champion, so it might be best if he might lose it at FastLane, so he probably could get that push if he wanted to. But
I think that definitely makes sense, man. I mean, I can definitely see them doing that 4-way at Mania. I still think Big E will go in with a title, but it'll be Big E versus the heels of SmackDown, which is Sami Zayn, Corbin, and Apollo Crews at the minute. I think that could be quite an interesting story. The underdog in Big E going into this match with 3 heels that all team up on him, and he eventually comes out with a win. Interesting.
Absolutely, yeah, that'd be really interesting. And I think Big E will get that push, like you say, Futuristic, for the World Championship at some point. But I don't think it's pre-Mania. I think it's coming in the next 2 years, year to 2 years. But I love your thinking there, and this is why we have you as part of the community and as a Hulkamaniac. This is why you're such an important part of what we do, mate. So thank you so much for your thoughts on that. As we move on to Drew McIntyre and Sheamus for the 56th time in as many weeks. Now, I really like the chemistry these guys have, and of course, you guys will know, as you will know, because you readily check the channel out, Futuristic. But if anybody's watching and doesn't know our channel too well, we have 2 interviews, one with Drew McIntyre and one with Sheamus on the channel right now. One I conducted with Drew, and one that we had Aiden from Gimme a Hull conduct with Sheamus, which is pretty cool. Anyway, cheap plug. There you go, cheap plug there.
All right, Mick.
But yeah, I don't know. I like the chemistry of these guys. Unfortunately, I do feel like there's only so much they can do. They've had a couple of matches, a couple of really stellar matches, but Drew has come up on top every time. And unfortunately, even though Sheamus is meant to be really popular backstage, there's meant to be a lot of love for Sheamus and his work backstage and wanting to push him, Drew's gone over him every time. I just can't believe, because of how things have gone the last few weeks, that Sheamus has any chance of winning this, guys. So I'm going to take Drew McIntyre against Sheamus. Anthony, your thoughts?
Yeah, Drew McIntyre, I think, has to win to keep him strong for Mania in case they are going to do Lashley versus Drew, which I don't think is guaranteed. I think that there's still potential for Brock to come back. But you still have to give us that belief that he is going to be there and he is going to have the potential to win that match. So I would have to give this to exactly the same as you, Drew McIntyre. And because I haven't been watching Ball, I'm actually quite excited for this. I've watched you obviously talk about it, and you've talked about some really good matches. So I'm looking forward to seeing the two work together, to be perfectly honest.
Absolutely. Futuristic, your thoughts, mate?
I think Drew's going to pick up the win, but then Sheamus might end up attacking him, so that might continue his matches in Monday Night Raw. Just do some stuff. So yeah, Drew's going to win. I don't really like this where it's going. I feel like they should just push Sheamus, but it looks like they're not going to push him anytime soon. So
No, but we are getting some good story with the two of them, so that's good.
Yeah, you want to also see them bringing back their old theme songs. So they both had like really good theme songs back in the day.
Yeah.
So they both do like they can't win a championship, so that's a broken dream for him. And then written in the face is like he's failing and all that in his face. and then they're gonna fight off, and they're just probably gonna see who's probably in a retirement match or something like that. Maybe.
Interesting. That's definitely an interesting thought. I like especially the idea of Sheamus going through a crisis of confidence after this. Could be a really nice story coming out for Sheamus that could help give him some time on TV.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, one of the great things about this feud is both of these guys do get time on TV, a lot of time on TV, which is great as such great talents. But I really like the long-term storytelling that Futuristic expects from WWE, which I think is yeah, that's positive, mate, and I applaud your positivity, the power of snazzy positivity. But unfortunately, mate, WWE do not do great long-term storytelling. So if you were booking a Drew and Sheamus retirement match to go down in a few years based on the wonderful chemistry they have, that's fantastic. They could maintain that relationship, but in a WWE context, I'm not sure. But I would love to see it. I would love to see that the long-term storytelling between these two guys eventually, years down the line, lead to a big battle between them for a retirement match or something along those lines. So yeah, good booking, mate. Good booking.
Someone get Snazzy on the booking team.
Indeed. So yeah, they did have Shane versus Braun, but I think that's going to Mania now. I think they've realised that they probably need that for Mania, which is a pretty bad indictment as to where WWE are right now with regards to ratings. If they need Braun Strowman and Shane in a grudge/gunge match
Dom,
at WrestleMania.
Sorry, I'm just getting breaking news here. I think I should share this about Braun and Shane. Yeah, according to the Gimme Wrestling podcast, this is actually happening on Get Your Own Back. Get Your Own Back is returning, a gunge match with Shane and Braun Strowman. I think only the UK people are going to get the Get Your Own Back reference, aren't they?
It's a TV show, Futuristic. We're joking. It's a TV show in the UK where they have like sort of Nickelodeon style with games things like that. But yeah. So I mean, it's I'm quite happy that it's not on this card. Although it does suggest there's a gap there for time that they were playing with, so they may extend one of the matches longer than they'd planned to. So
Biggie and Apollo. Let's have that go longer.
Yeah, let's have Biggie and Apollo go longer. But I guess we'll come back together and talk about this match, the gunge match / grudge match at WrestleMania. That's no doubt going to happen. So in our main event, guys, the main event of FastLane 2021 is Daniel Bryan versus Roman Reigns for the championship. Now, Roman's been on an absolute tear recently. Daniel Bryan's playing up the fact that it could be his last ever chance to be at WrestleMania. Edge is, of course, as far as I'm aware, I know there's a special guest referee match this week or was it last
tonight
week?
Yeah, it's either going to be James or Edge, but we all assume it's going to be Edge.
Yeah. So tonight we're all going to assume it's going to be Edge. So Edge is going to be the special guest referee. I want to see, I know we're not going to get it, I want to see Roman Reigns versus Daniel Bryan versus Edge in a triple threat at Mania, but they very rarely do those. So I don't expect it to happen. I expect Roman to go over here, whether it's an Edge accidental interference, accidentally spears Daniel Bryan and costs him, or something along those lines. But I think it will be Roman Reigns that gets the win here. Again, I really want to see, and in my fantasy, I'm seeing a triple threat be booked for WrestleMania for Daniel Bryan's last WrestleMania sort of that story. Edge's, of course, return story, and Roman Reigns, who should go over, if they were to do that triple threat, to put Reigns over, now that he's got this great heel run. But in short, guys, tonight, WrestleMania Fastlane. At Fastlane, I believe Roman Reigns will go over Daniel Bryan due to nefarious goings on between either the Usos or Edge or a mix of both. But yeah, Roman Reigns for me. Anthony, your thoughts?
Yeah, I think it's going to be Roman Reigns. I have slight concerns about this match. Daniel Bryan, as we all know, is wonderful in the ring and never loses it. I have concerns about Roman. I know that he's been doing great work, and one of the things you said is he's been on a tear. He's been on this sort of heel gimmick, but he's not had very many matches, and they're not doing house shows. And I wonder how that's going to play into this match, whether Roman's going to have a bit of ring rust. I mean, when was the last time we saw Roman Reigns in an actual match that wasn't like Elimination Chamber squash match against Daniel Bryan? He did that thing with Kevin Owens at Mania, but that was a bit sloppy.
the Jey Uso stuff as well.
Yeah, Clash of Champions before that.
Yeah.
But actually, if you look at the Kevin Owens stuff, that was a bit messy. And that was Kevin Owens, who, again, is a wonderful worker. So I'm very interested to see how this plays out. Quite interesting.
I agree. I think that, I think you're right, mate. I think that's going to be fantastic to see. Well, fingers crossed. Hopefully, with Edge and Bryan in there as combustible elements, it could be a bit of fantastic storytelling. But as WWE goes, we can never tell. Futuristic, your thoughts, my man?
I think Roman Reigns is gonna pick up the win, but it's probably gonna be like a beatdown, like where he's gonna beat up Daniel Bryan for like at least 5 minutes, and then Daniel Bryan's gonna try to self-defend himself, but then again gets beat up, and then it's gonna end as a tap out where he gets in that lock, whatever it's called. But then after the match, Edge is gonna spear Roman Reigns, and he's gonna hold the belt and hold it up high to know he's probably gonna win the champion belt, which is probably never gonna happen.
I don't think it's gonna happen, Futuristic. It's not gonna happen. Dom, the amount of people that think that Edge is winning at Mania, I'm quite surprised at it.
Yeah, I think they're building that, though. I think it's about anticipation, isn't it? We all want to see Edge win at Mania, and we all expect to see Edge at Mania win, and that's exactly why we won't get that result at Mania. Whether that's down to Brock Lesnar returning or something else, there'll be something that costs Edge, that win.
I think that could just be Goldberg, to be honest. If anything, I think that's...
You're right.
Oh, I don't want to see him.
Well, exactly. No one, but that could be the match for SummerSlam, the big match without any titles involved. It could be Edge and Goldberg, which no one wants to see because no one wants to see the potential of Edge getting hurt. But you're right; they could absolutely do something garbage like that.
Absolutely. I mean, it remains to be seen. But FastLane, let's hope, guys, that FastLane, exceeds our expectations, because my expectations, guys, are very, very low for this pay-per-view, except for Big E and Apollo and whatever creativity comes out of Alexa Bliss and Randy Orton.
They've got a lot of time, so there's not a lot of matches, which generally means it could be a good pay-per-view if they give matches time and let them play, and they've got some talent on there, so let's hope that they let them have some time and we don't just get a 24/7 title in the background somewhere.
I mean, our truth deserves a spot on every pay-per-view in some way. So,
Sorry, go on. No, you're all right, Snazzy. You go ahead, man.
I think they're going to do that during the kickoff show of the 24/7, like they did with that one dude from the commentary. I think someone might end up pinning or something.
I can't remember his name, but yeah, I remember what you're talking about.
Cool. The other match that could happen, and I feel could happen, maybe a kickoff show, it'll probably get announced later on, would be Ali versus Riddle. Are we expecting to see that?
Now, that would be really cool. I've talked about it. I have talked about it possibly being on the Raw stream. I talked about it. And, there has been some rumblings of that as well. And Keith Lee also returning to become a heel to feud with Riddle is also talked about. But Anthony, do you think that's realistic and futuristic as well? Do you think that we need an additional match to the card, just maybe to be added on Sunday between Ali and Riddle, and having Keith Lee return in that mix as well?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I think you could do with maybe that match on the card. I think it's a good matchup. I think Ali's great, and I think Riddle's great as well in terms of in-ring work. Yeah, I'd be excited to see it, I guess.
Well, Keith Lee said when he returns, he will make people happy. But I don't think it will be at FastLane. I think it might be somewhere after WrestleMania when Rhea Ripley debuts on Raw.
Okay.
Nice.
Cool. Nice. Yeah. Yeah, we'll see. I think, I don't think Keith Lee will be at FastLane, but you're right. There's lots of potential for interference. We haven't even talked about Bobby Lashley and the potential for him to interfere in the pay-per-view at some point as well.
Absolutely. He's probably going to be involved in some way in that Drew and Sheamus match for sure.
One would assume, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Yeah. Right, that's the predictions done, my folks. Oh no, should we give a quick prediction for Ali and Riddle? I think Riddle's going to win.
Yeah, go on. I think Riddle's going to win and maybe Keith Lee will return. That's my prediction for that. Anthony, your prediction for something along those lines?
Riddle comes in. I don't think Keith Lee's returning, especially not if it's on a kickoff show.
Futuristic, if that match happens?
I think it might sound crazy, but I think he's going to win, and Keith Lee does not return, but then the Retribution team might be jealous and they might have a little bit of like a good chance, like they want to face him for it. Might have like their group facing the leader basically.
Bit of friction. Yeah, I like it.
They can come and TP this stage. Throw a toilet roll all over the ring. That's what they're going to do.
Yeah, so Futuristic. Yeah. You think Ali's going to win that? That's cool, man. That's cool. I'd love to see Ali with a title. I really would. Whether it's going to come to him as part of Retribution is another matter.
Rock and roll, dudes. Snazzy, tell us a bit about your YouTube channel, my dude. I want to talk to Snazzy for a little bit. I'm done with FastLane.
Yeah, well, absolutely, mate. So yeah, your YouTube channel, man. What made you want to start it?
I wanted it to be my career for like to entertain people, to make YouTube a better place than what it, because a lot of people hate YouTube for its like rules and all, and I like being positive on YouTube. I try to help people, try to get them to stop with like the mean comments and people making videos. Like there's a person that makes videos for literally 5 seconds of just like stop this saying like just ignore, just move on, because there's no need to make a video of something that probably won't exist later on, won't be a flashback because it'll be taken off YouTube in seconds or years. So I don't know.
Yeah.
YouTube would take forever to take things down. And I also wanted to create this YouTube so whenever I do like wrestling, whatever, I can like put in like some trailers and all that good stuff, and possibly wrestling predictions as well, all stuff. Yeah.
That sounds awesome, man. That's really cool. It's really cool. What about your favorite wrestling match of all time, Futuristic?
Oh, that is very, very tough. But I'm gonna have to give it to Seth Rollins versus Brock and John Cena, because that was a good match. Oh wait, no, was it Roman Reigns and John Cena? Or wait, yeah, it was Brock Lesnar. It was at the Rumble. It was one of my favorite matches. How like Brock Lesnar was getting beaten up. That was the first time I seen him getting beat up like that. And then he was on a stretcher. He came out of nowhere, just destroyed everyone. 1, 2, 3. He won the title. It was one of those matches I've seen.
That's cool.
Sorry.
That's cool. Final question then for you, man. If you could have a dream match, something you've never seen before, and it doesn't matter what era, doesn't matter what time, doesn't matter. It could be an AEW person versus a WWE person. It could be NXT versus Raw. It could be any time. What is your dream match that you'd love to see?
Adam Cole versus Seth Rollins.
Nice.
Baby!
Beautiful.
Nice.
Beautiful. Wonderful. Futuristic, thank you so much for being here, man. Thanks so much for coming on.
Yeah, man.
It's been very fun.
Good, glad you had a good time. And dudes, like I say, you can do it in the future. Just hit us up on Discord. Please check out Snazzy. He's a wonderful member of the community, and you all see him there every week, and brings great content to the channel. Gives us something to talk about. Dudes, without you dudes, this channel doesn't exist, and obviously Snazzy has been a wonderful supporter of us, and we appreciate it. Thank you.
It's been like, I realized it's almost been a year since I've been watching you guys, and it's crazy. And I'm really happy that I found, because I almost gave up on wrestling too, which almost sucked. But when I found you guys, I was like, I feel entertained. I feel excited to watch wrestling again, because without that, I would have stopped watching wrestling from last year. And I'm glad I didn't.
And that's why we do it, mate. That's why we do it. Thank you so much, brother. I really appreciate it. And thank you for being part of the community. And thank you for just your positive vibes as well. I know how difficult it is during this, time and the pandemic, etc., to keep positive. So, we're sending positive vibes from the UK over to you. And thank you so much for spending time with us every week and coming to our streams and being so positive. We really appreciate it, man. So thank you to you for being here, but also for every week, supporting what we do.
You're welcome.
Amazing, dude. You're awesome. Dudes, you can watch Fastlane with us, with Snazzy. He'll be in the chatting to people. Me, Dom, and Dan Reed from Pro Wrestling Eve are doing Fastlane this Sunday on the WWE Network, $9.99. So go buy it. Any last words, Dom?
I think I'm going to leave this to Futuristic. I think he knows how it goes. So if you want to do our countdown like a claymore to a hull, Futuristic, I'm going to leave it to you.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hull yeah, brother. Hull yeah. Well done, man. Thanks. And we're off.
This is Big
Cool.
E
I'll
from
just
the
put the
new
finish
day.
the video off.
Give me that whole
Keep talking. You can talk between yourself.
Give it to me. I need
You did great, mate.